So I got a story for you right now. I got a story for you. I think you might enjoy this one. But before I get into it, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment, man. Comment before you even watch the video. If you saw what I got to say in the title, you know this is going to be a good one. So let's just get straight into it. Let me share my screen.
Don't make plans of your own, guess what? You'll probably fall into someone else's plans. Guess what someone else may have planned for you? Not much. So take a look at the next 5 years of your life. It's going to be like the last 5, unless you change. And if you will change, everything will change. Don't make...
Tell him. So the reason why I wanted to share this particular video with you before I even get into what I need to say is because it's important. If you don't make plans for yourself, someone will make plans for you. And the plans they got for you is going to be rubbish. It's not going to be worth your time. But yet you gave them the opportunity to allow them to make plans for you. When you got big plans that you want to do, but then you're just sitting on your plans and not working. Come on, man, stop playing games. And the reason why I'm speaking with this much energy is because, as I say for all my videos, all these videos that I do is a reflection of how I was before, right? This is a new era now. This is 2026 business. This is a whole new world that I'm living in, right? This is a whole new world that I'm living in. And ultimately, when I sort of went freelance, and then that is why I need to be more specific in that sense, because there's a difference, I would say, from being a freelancer and then being a business owner or self-employed or an entrepreneur in that sense. And this ain't no shade in terms of those who are freelancing and working and freelancing and building on the side as well. Because trust me, I know that it makes the most perfect sense to align yourself in a position where you're able to work part-time for an actual job that you enjoy and that you like, and which is cool, and you're able to build on the side. That is a blessing. And when you're in the moment and the positioning where you can then venture full-time into what you're doing, that's a dream. I had that same idea as well. I had that same sort of plan in my head anyway. But then when it comes down to those plans, you then have to understand and think to yourself, for anything, for any sort of violations you may endure or any situations, what is it going to take? And I would say, for me, I would say I'm very spiritual in a sense of those things. I pick up things very. For me, everything that happens has to happen for a reason, right? I'm a big believer in God, 100%. But in terms of the elements of the spiritual part of things, there has to be a reasoning why this has been done. This is God's plan. So with a particular role that I was working at, I was working at a company. I'm not gonna say, but you could do your research if you want. But I started there doing marketing work for them. As you know, I'm in marketing. I'm in PR as well, so it's only right that those are the things I'm good at. Those are the things I do. So obviously, I'll be doing that. But yeah, I was working with them for a bit, and yeah, it got to. I was doing both. I was working with them, and I was also working on building what I'm currently doing now with my agency. I'm building up my agency to 7 figures. Amen. And what was quite interesting is that not only was I one of the few people in the marketing department that was actually doing stuff, that was actually, cracking on with work. I suppose with these companies, when it comes down to budgets and stuff like that, they may not necessarily have the budgets in place to align and pay for more staff as well. And with that, that was when I realized that in this life, you if you don't say something, then you will fall for anything. And when I say that, due to the lack of numbers as well, I literally had like 17 jobs in one. 17 jobs in one. Let's see if I can count actually. PR, newsletters, website management, social media management across four four platforms. What else was there? Data, obviously looking at the data analytics of that. Analytics. What else was there? The workshops. Oh, there. What else was there? So I covered the PR side. PR, did I cover PR? I think I covered PR already. The market paid ads. We got to split the paid ads as well. The what else was there? Internal comms. Internal comms was there from what I can recall. The what else was there? There was quite a few other bits as well. If I can't think of the rest of them, I will just continue. The events. Events was one. Events. Videography. I was a videographer as well. We're at 10, right? Let's go back. What else was there? I'll leave it as 10. I'll leave it as 10. I'll leave it as 10. But with that, there was various sort of roles within that particular job, which is fine because I don't mind doing it. But then I suppose the thing is, with being in marketing and being a marketer, if you have skills in one thing, you're just naturally going to be good at doing a lot of other things within the work that you do. So for that reason, it's kind of like exploitation at that point because rather than actually realizing that you are snowed under, that you need the support from other people that can do it, it's kind of just left for you to kind of figure it out. And yeah, it was a weird time. It was good at the time because I suppose it allowed me to build and develop my skills in that sense as well. So to be honest, my issue wasn't necessarily with the work and the amount of stuff that I had to do because it was in my remit and I enjoy it. So it was a challenge, but it was an amazing challenge. And I always rise to the challenge to get stuff done as well to that regard. So results were great. Results were great. Like the results of building the following, building the marketing plan that's structured the way it needs to be structured, especially for the timing that they were in. It was going great. And then we had the probation meeting because I was there. More so part-time as opposed as a freelance. And then yeah, went through the actual probation meeting and they extended my probation. And I was like, you what? So they extended my probation. And then the reasoning that they had for the extension wasn't even about the work. In fact, they actually enjoyed the work. They loved the work. They loved the new sort of ideas I was bringing to the table when it came down to the marketing standpoint and the PR ideas that can be positioned later down the line because it was more specifically a marketing role. But in that sense, they extended the probation because they had reason to believe that the sort of the law was changing for what it means for jobs. So they said, and I quote, that they would need to use me as a guinea pig just to ensure that it ties in with what the new regulations are going to say in terms of the new laws that are coming in. And I was like, oh, when are they coming in? I think they said like 2027 or something. It was something crazy like that. I was so confused. I was really confused. I didn't know what that had to do with me, firstly. And if you're happy with the work, then why would you extend the probation? I don't understand what the probation extension would be necessary for if the work is good. And over the years, I would say I spent a lot of my time being deemed as like very well spoken, polite, professional, all that sort of good stuff. However, what I found is that the all the niceties of that I'm being told that I am and all that stuff never equated to actually developing and growing in a way that I would have thought I would if I am not only nice but actually do the work and get the job done. So for me, I was just like, okay, I understand. I understand. And yeah, with that, I didn't stay any longer than necessary, and I handed in my resignation, and I said, I'm doing this thing full time now. I'm doing this thing full time now because if you don't make a plan, people are gonna make plans for you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let the great Jim Rohn say it. Let me share my screen.
Don't make plans of your own, guess what? You'll probably fall into someone else's plans. Guess what someone else may have planned for you? Not much. So take a look at the next 5 years of your life. It's going to be like the last 5, unless you change. And if you will change, everything will change. Don't make...
Talk up the things. So, if you look at life and things aren't changing, it's because you're not changing. So, in that case, I had to change. I had to change. I had to change in order to elevate myself away from tomfoolery. Let's call it that. That's my word. That's one of my words I use all the time for things. But if it's the tomfoolery of what is presented to you, if it just sounds like excuses and it doesn't actually align with actual feedback that you can take on board and improve and be better and become a better person in that regard, a better professional, but then they're coming up with just lame excuses as to why they extend your probation when there's actually no reason to extend it if you've actually done the work, and not only that but actually change the actual the rapport of everyone within that department, knowing that you have actually shifted things and made it better. But all in all, like I said, it's not a video to bash or to um out anyone. It's more so as a reminder that you need to make your own plans. You need to make your own plans, because if you don't make your own plans, people are going to make it for you. And I assure you that these plans that they're going to be making for you is not going to be better than what you want to be doing, right? You have all the talent and success in the world to be doing things that align with what will make you happy, but you choose not to make plans for yourself. Let's do better. Please like, comment, and subscribe if that video resonates. If you're triggered, please let me know in the comments, because like I said, sometimes I just have to give it to you guys just straight to the point, and I want to see you guys win, man. I want to see you guys win, and we can no longer be taking tomfoolery and not be making plans. And by all means, I say it again, I'm not saying to go and do these things on your own accord or to jump ship and, but there has to be a time in your life where you decide to put matters into your own hands and to really make a shift and make a change in your life that will help you in the long run. Because if you don't, you're going to be in the hands of someone else's plans who does not care about you one bit. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out. Look after yourself.